That thing's crazy too, right there.
Yeah, I need to take you riding like a 19 ZR1.
Good, he's doing it widescreen.
So these things are really bad about, I mean, like you got to have heat in the clutch. Like, so the clutch is at 99 degrees. I don't know if those guys watching right now, but I always have them at least 150 before I hammer on it. And so again, we have different boost settings. I am on, I think map 2 right now. Yeah, 10 pounds. So again, this isn't too crazy.
When you're just driving daily, like I know it wouldn't be necessarily a daily car, but when you're driving daily, just keep it at map 1. Or...
So yeah, so you have 3 maps. So technically there's 4 maps. You have what's called wastegate. So that CO2 bottle back there, if you just turn that off, and if we, no matter what setting we have it on, there's no CO2 that can go to the wastegate. And our wastegate spring is, let's call it 6 pounds of boost. So you're making 700 rear wheel horsepower just driving around. And then each setting puts a little bit more on top of the wastegate.
Gotcha.
To make, you know, we go from 6 pounds, then to 10 pounds, then 15.
Yeah.
And then if the clutch holds, we'll put 25 or 30 in this thing. But the higher gears are what the clutch doesn't like.
Right.
And it does like drag racing better than roll racing.
We're on drag radials right now, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah,
so we have an 18-inch Mickey Thompson 345 drag radial on it, so it will hook. Speaking of that, so I'll go ahead and put it in.
And it, you know, we drive so good for just.
And that's so. And again, I'll tell the world I don't care. We've probably put 3 different clutches in this thing.
Oh wow.
And other cars, including. No, Al's, I think his worked the first time.
Yeah.
Some of the other cars we put clutches in is taken 4 or 5 times before they get it right.
Yeah. And then I see you have your safety bottle.
Yeah,
here.
all cars should have halon systems in them and or a nice fire suppression system. I don't care how good we build them or how good we buy the best of the best parts.
Right.
Anything can happen when it comes to 1500 horsepower.
Absolutely.
And to me, I've been in my race car, I've been in personal fires. Fires are the absolute worst.
Yes.
The absolute worst. So I always plan for the worst. Some people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. It's better safe than sorry.
Agreed.
But yeah, I mean, the clutch is a little aggressive when you first take off, but
see, I actually like that. I like that a lot. You know, I had a Lamborghini Gallardo, and man, you talk about a clutch, that thing would snap your, you know, neck every time.
The old E gear, like the 08
the E gear, yeah, I had a 14.
So the way those shifted would be like whap, whap, whap. So that's kind of how I have to tune these. I have to pull, which you'll hear it pop when it shifts. That's me pulling timing to let it make the shift, allow the clutch to grab the next gear, and then accelerate again.
And what mode are you driving in right now?
I put it in track mode.
Track mode, okay.
I just did track mode. I just turned traction control off. I normally don't, but because we're gonna go up, this is how I would do it if I was at a racetrack.
Right. It feels really good. I like it in track mode.
I love it.
Yeah. So we don't have issues with it like you do in the C7. The C7, you'd never want to drive in track mode on the road, on the street.
It's just stiffer, and depending on what gear it holds and stuff like that. So that's the other thing. In drive right now, stock computer is shifting it, doing everything. When we go to race it, you'll see I'm gonna hit this button.
Yes.
And then my aftermarket computer tells it when to shift, and that's how I can control timing and all the other stuff with it.
Gotcha. Interesting.
I'll go to the feeder road so we got more room, but if we have room, I'll just at least lay into it a little bit so you can kind of feel it.
Yeah.
You get a little bit more heat in the clutch. Sounds good, right?
Yes, it does.
So yeah, I do want more heat in the clutch, but let's see if it holds. So yeah, you put it in manual mode. I can shift it if I want, like this, up, down, or I just hold it like this.
Woo, man, that's awesome. It sounds so good.
Definitely needs more heat in the clutch.
Yeah.
So when it went to shift, it shifted another gear.
Yes.
Is that wild or what?
That is insane. It sounds so cool. I love that.
Dude, and like...
those turbos are nuts. Man, you guys see that back there? That's crazy.
It's wild.
Man. Gotcha.
But I mean, you see how it drives?
It drives so perfect.
And like I said, it's only every so often it does weird stuff, and it's just that's part of the factory computer kicking my ass. It's just hard. You can only trick so many sensors so many times before it says, oh, something I don't like, you know what I mean?
Well, and that probably also helps it protect it, right?
It does, and that's the point of it, right? Let me make sure this looks good real quick.
I think I got mine.
I'll like make a little baby pull right here. See how she does. Still not much heat in the clutch, but it's getting closer.
Nuts. That is awesome.
How's that feel?
That will take your breath away.
So that's on map 1. So that was 5 pounds on top of it.
Dude, that's some power.
It's so much fun.
Yes. That was awesome.
Feel how I'm pulling timing for the shit. You feel the popping. So at lower boost levels, it's more violent. When I make a lot of boost, you don't feel it as much because it's needed.
Oh,
so here, look.
So it's not like blowing it off.
Correct. So here, we'll pull over. I'm gonna go up. We'll go up 1 setting.
Okay.
Are you videoing right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so here, I'll show you. So let's say we just raced somebody and they were too close to us, and we don't want them to be that close, right?
Right.
So pull over. I mean, you could keep it running, but I'm always anal. I just kill it.
Reset it.
Yep. Just turn power on. Watch how quick it is. So now we're like, you know what? Let's race again. Map 2. Boop. All right, let's go play again. And again, I put on track mode. Sometimes I leave traction control on, depending on what tires we're on, right?
Yeah.
If we're on street tires,
right,
it wouldn't even hold. Like the first map is enough on street tires. Like it's a little out of control.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that we have the drag radials on there.
Yep, that's what helps it in the lower gear. So I mean, we should take off from like 3rd, but I'm gonna see if it'll hold 2nd right here with the clutch. So like I said before, the gear sets in these, the gear ratios are what make these cars, I say, quick when they're stock, like 0 to 60.
Yeah.
But man, there's so much shifting going on from shift into 5th gear, you know, at 110 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like they're quick for stock, but then when you start putting real power to them, you really need it above, like in 4th and 5th gear, to help accelerate the car. They just fall on their face so bad. So eventually, once we get clutches to hold more horsepower, then we'll start breaking gear sets. Yeah. After that, then we'll come up with billet gear sets, and I can try to custom do our ratios. Okay. Because, like I said, a C6 ZR1, we do 60 to 130s. I can be in 3rd gear from 60 to 135 miles an hour. Yeah. Don't even shift once. Right. This thing from 60 to 130 is shifting 4 times. Oh my gosh. So the time it takes it to shift, it's just, it kills it. So I mean, they're fast, but they're not as, there's so much more room that we can do to these cars. And we're getting there, little by little. Tell me if you can feel a difference between that map and this map. Okay.
That was impressive. My goodness. I had to film me on that one because I knew it was going to be crazy.
And you can feel like, I don't know if you can tell, but each gear I have a little bit more boost. Yeah. So 2nd gear it has, let's just say 6 pounds. 3rd has 8. 4th has 10. And 5th probably had 12 or 13 right there.
Man, I think my eyes were like, that was awesome.
Let's turn the AC back on.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy it. But
that was awesome.
So once we get heat in the clutch, like I said, the first time we tried getting on it, it slipped, like the clutch slipped with that boost level. But once you get them over 150, I mean, this thing holds at 1,000 rear wheel horsepower. Yeah. Pretty damn good. Now, when we start making 12, 13, 1400, like I can do it on the dyno. Right. But actually, under a load, going down a street or a track, it just, the higher gears don't like it. Yeah. They don't like it yet. But
dude.
not everybody needs 1,500 brute
Yeah,
horsepower.
exactly. But you know, it's going to be really bad when I get back into my Corvette at home. After riding in this, I'm going to be like, welcome to my Prius. It sounds like a Prius temporarily, you know, that's getting corrected soon, but...
You put a cat back on yours, I promise you, you'll feel like you're in a muscle car.
Yeah.
Like, I tell customers, even when they come to us, whether they do superchargers or turbos,
Right.
if they just want a nice C8 to drive,
Yeah.
just put a cat back on it. At least you sound like you're in a performance car now.
Right.
GM
Thank
just,
goodness.
it's so stock. They sound so, they're so quiet. You don't hear them.
I think that was government, you know, kind of, you know, regulations type stuff that caused them to go.
Oh yeah, that's what
you know.
it has, displacement on demand, so it shuts off 4 cylinders. You know, it's all about gas mileage, and
Correct.
GM has to meet, so many vehicles have to meet the certain gas
criteria.
mileage.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So that's exhaust, engine, shutting off 4 cylinders, which in these cases, I want to say both of these, we have it where we change the lifters out, so we get rid of those DOD lifters. Because there's no spring-loaded lifters, and they can break over time. Same with like your C7.
Yes,
So when we do a cam package, we get rid of those lifters, we put in good lifters. We do the same thing with these.
Okay. Yeah, I know one of my friends had the lifter was messed up in his, and they had to replace it. And I think the whole engine and everything got replaced.
If the roller comes apart, it takes the camshaft out, and it can wipe out a whole bunch of stuff. So.
Man.
But yeah, I mean, like I said,
I love this.
It's
so
you can hop in
Al,
and drive it.
Al, this isn't yours obviously because of Tension Blue and
but it's
Twilight,
literally
but,
it's identical.
But this is you're
identical.
gonna love it, buddy. I can't wait.
Hands, be ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Be ready to hold on.
I know he's ready. He keeps telling me he wanted to take it to the track. Of course, the season's over there, but you
This
know.
thing on the like to me on our first setting or even on wastegate,
yeah,
your average guy with 700 rear horsepower in this is more than enough.
Oh,
like I said,
yeah.
you're talking about the 1%. Of a guy that pulls up next to you that makes 1,000+ horsepower.
Right.
And now again, I know Al and Mr. Moen here, they just want to be that 1%. They want to beat everybody. So we give them what we can. I just wish the clutch and drivetrain, I wish I could give them 2,000 horsepower to run with the GTRs and the Lambos that do make 1,500+.
Man,
but
those
again,
GTRs are nuts.
that's the 1%.
Yeah.
This thing on wastegate, hop in and drive around, 700 real horsepower, enjoy it. Clutch will be fine all day long. The drivetrain will be fine all day long.
Right.
You know, you have a fun car to drive.
Yeah. Even in traffic.
Which y'all can see. And no, look at the temps. Temps are great. Oil temp, training temp, oil pressure.
Yeah.
And yeah, we sit in traffic and it'll get better once you start driving. A lot of people, again, even the Lambos, I did a lot of, like you said you owned, I did a lot of the Superleggeros back in the day, the Gallardos. We did twin turbo kits on them. And even these, everyone does the turbos in the back, like rear mount, bumper style turbos. And this car, in 2020 when I first saw it, I just wanted something different. I wanted you to pop the hood or the hatch, whatever you want to call it, and see the system. And man, I love it. It's different. No one else has something like this. And when you hear it driving, like, I mean, just right in your ears. You hear the bypass valve, so just barely rolling into it, and then
That is awesome.
I love that.
I do too.
So again, and for the convertibles though, I will say the turbos are going to be in the back on the bumper because there's no room. Same with like the Pro Chargers that we're installing right now. The new ones, they are going to have a kit for the convertibles.
Yeah.
It's going to be just completely different, like billet intake manifold. It's going to be obviously low mounted, and the way that the jack shaft is going to be sick.
Nice.
But yeah, I want to do something different, and I just, once we did the top mount, I don't know. I love the way it looks, I love the way it sounds.
It sounds so good.
I hope you like it.
I do. I do. One of my friends has got a twin turbo that I don't know where he got it from. It's not top mounted though.
It's probably in the rear bumper. Everyone else has them in the rear bumper.
Gotcha. I like this though because you can see it.
That's what I like.
Because you can't see it.
That's
I mean, look at that.
And if you, even if, like I said, even if you just go with a turbo kit with a stock motor and everything just to make 600 and some horsepower, just an extra 150, you go to car shows and it looks really cool. Everyone can see it.
And then the other thing too is, I believe the sound is going to be a lot closer to you with it being mounted right here, and you're going to hear those turbos.
It is. And everyone worried about heat, and everyone's like, oh, there's no way. I beat the crap out of this car here in Houston.
Yeah.
And the other cars that we've done, and as you can see, temperatures are phenomenal.
Yeah, and
you know, we've been sitting in traffic beating on this thing
Houston,
too.
Exactly. In Houston traffic, you always got to love that.
Let's pull in the shop where there's a little bit of shade.
I know.
But yeah, I hope you liked it, man.
Absolutely, dude.
So that's probably, I don't know.
But you're ruining me for getting back to mine. No.
It does kind of make you jaded.
It does, man.
When I drive cars like, 1,000 rear horsepower cars every day, you hop in a 600 horsepower car and you're like,
I know.
Sounds cool, looks cool, but I mean.
That is awesome.
Do you hear that clicking sound? So
yeah.
that's the solenoids underneath it for the boost controller. We just mounted them there because again we're in a rush to test this car.
Right.
Normally it'll be farther back so you won't hear the clicking. That's the solenoids for the boost controller. You actually kind of hear it clicking?
Yeah, I do.
You can see this number. See where it says wastegate pressure?
Yes.
Watch it go up. That's when it clicks. So it's telling it put more CO2 on the wastegate. And that's what you're hearing. So normally we'll move it to the back where you don't hear the solenoids.
So much technology. I mean,
it's a lot. Like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years. And when they said we couldn't tune them, I'm like, come on, whatever. And then this has been definitely the hardest car to build.
Really?
Yep. And like I said, and this isn't even, we're not even all the way. To me, like, I mean, you can see it runs fine. I just want it, it's still not perfect for me.
Which is great. You know what I mean? Because again, especially it'd be different if you live right here in Houston. Okay, fine, you could just drop by. But if for your customers that don't live right around the corner, man, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, all of our cars are from all over the country and the world.
Louisiana, Washington,
Montana,
Nevada.
Yep.
There was another one, I can't even remember where it was.
Alaska.
But, yeah.
I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So I take pride in building cars that are fast and reliable.
Yeah.
A lot of people can build fast cars, but if they're broke all the time, sitting in a shop all the time, well, that's not fun.
Yeah, no,
not
at all.
And these, again, they're there. I'm just being anal. I want them better.
Right.
I want them better.
Well, that's amazing.
I hope you enjoyed it, bud.
Absolutely.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too. Appreciate it. Hard to get out of. They're hard to get out of when they're just stock, but when you got all that in there.
I love it.
Dude,
How was that?
But again, man, the problem is then I go back and I drive my C8 and I'm gonna be like, why aren't you going? You know what I mean? Like it's just so.
Maybe need a twin turbo system.
I know.
Just do exhaust.
I am.
Enjoy it.
Yes.
If you want more than that, to be honest, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love to put turbos on it, but we can't, especially in Dallas.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
The blower route's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, see, I would go to.
But also comes about
those
looks
expensive.
too, right? And the way the horsepower comes in, this is more horsepower and torque right away. Whereas a centrifugal blower like a Pro Charger, it's a linear curve. So you gotta be at high RPM to feel the horsepower. Then when it shifts, then you're back down to 9% of horsepower. Then you're back up to horsepower, back and forth.
So you have your pros and cons. But
Yeah, because this you see, you go to a car show, you're like, sweet. And then you go.
Feel good? Where'd y'all go? That long stretch,
Yeah,
straight
we
stretch? Y'all go Clay
down that way,
Road,
and then we went back to
Clay
the right.
Road, or Brit?
I did Britmore. The traffic was so bad we couldn't
dude,
get out.
that's
It was
fun to
terrible
hear.
Get out.
Oh
So
my
Britmore,
goodness.
but the clutch, I even told him the clutch was only like at 125 degrees. I'm like, it's probably not gonna hold. So the first pull, it slipped in third. I was like, all right, pull over. I turned down the setting, got it over 150, and then we ripped it. I'm like, fuck, let's turn it back up. Turn it back up to the middle setting, and we ripped it.
150 on Britmore.
Yeah, it was, dude. Yeah, it was.
Did you go? Okay.
I was like, I had to do at least one pull, like with me watching. You know, like instead of
Showing
just
your
the
face,
road,
he just he does the same.
Oh my god.
Every time, just to get your reaction.
There's a lot of times I'm like, all right, Steven.
Yeah,
It's all right.
All right, slow down. Slow down. Like, and I'm not
trying
gonna
to
lie.
hold my body together. You know what I mean? Like my body's wanting to expand.
I
you know?
hate riding passenger. Like I love these cars.
I know.
And so my other shop was right here when we first pulled out. I had a big shop for about 12 years. And a customer hopped in a 5th gen Camaro. It was a ZL1, I think. Manual car.
Oh, nice.
Call it 600 real horsepower, 600 real torque. And I don't know freaking why, but I said, he's like, oh, come ride with me. So I hopped shotgun with him. Literally, as soon as we pulled out, right before that stoplight, oncoming traffic. We end up in the opposite lane. But if cars were coming, we would have hit someone at 50 miles an hour oncoming. And I was like, I'm never riding with a
I
customer
know.
again.
I'm actually not comfortable. I am a better driver than rider, passenger. I'm not comfortable as a passenger. But I mean,
That wasn't too bad, right?
No, and I had your. But look, also, I'm confident who I'm riding with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I try not to do.
Yeah.
People always think, man, you probably do. I'm like, I actually drive like a grandma. Unless I'm testing something,
Yeah.
it's the only time I'm ever having fun with it.
But you know what you're.
Yes,
You know
I know
what
my
I mean? That's
limits.
the
I know when
thing.
I know when I can stop. I know when I can keep going.
And he usually keeps it in traction control.
Yeah, that's what I told him.
on.
That's the first time I turned it off. I said I normally don't do this, but because we're on these tires, I do it. But 99% of the time, every car I test drive, I have traction control. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a 600 horsepower car. Just asphalt roads, never want to get on them, which I don't. I wait till concrete. Again, I don't care if it's a stock car. So those roads that we got on, those are concrete roads.
Yes.
Asphalt roads, anyone out there watching, don't unless you just want to.
Right.
There's
Unless you
asphalt
want to
roads
risk
with
it.
street tires.
Yeah, if
they
you want to risk
spin-
it.
Yeah, they spin real easy.
So now you have an idea of how to explain what Al's
I'm gonna be
been
calling-
waiting for.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Al and be like, dude, you're gonna love it, man.
It-
But that'll kill him. It'll make it even worse.
I
You
know,
what
that's
mean?
what I told him. It's like, to be honest, like I said, this one's pretty. I'm probably gonna ship it. Just tell you, hey, enjoy it.
Right.
And eventually, though, between me, like, we're gonna rip. The goal is to rip the stock computer out of it.
Yeah.
And just, I can control everything all the time.
Right.
We're not there yet, so we'll probably give them the cars back. Tell Al, hey, enjoy it.
Yeah.
But probably in come the winter time when you don't want to drive your car, send it back, and I'm gonna do a complete wiring harness and an ECM to control. The TCM is what we're still learning.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how to have a transmission control module to fully control the transmission.
Right, because it's still so new and you guys are really developing it now.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years. Like I said, and we had the world record, which I didn't even say on camera.
Yeah.
We had the
Yeah.
world record at 880 at 160 miles an
I
hour.
think we might have talked about that earlier, but
If you got that, I mean, like I said, we can do it. It's just, I like them reliable and fast.
Yeah.
And again,
Reliable is
if it's
huge,
not,
man.
If it's not reliable,
Yeah.
to me, it's anyone can do that. To me, everyone can put 30 pounds of boost and nitrous on it and make a cool dyno number, or go one pass really fast, and if it breaks, well,
I know,
that's
and,
not fun.
and nobody wants to have their car have to be towed back home,
That's what I
you know, or
said.
to a dealer,
No one
whatever.
wants-
Yeah, that's
Imagine driving with your wife and you just spent 50 grand or 100 grand on a performance car, and then you break down going to dinner. Oh, the wife would kill me. Like, what the hell are you doing, Steven? I mean, she knows me, so I'm a little bit different than everyone
But
else.
still.
But
For the rest of us, though, we
yes,
yeah.
Man. But yeah, you saw. I mean, we had no problems in it.
Yeah.
Just like the first pull, it slipped the clutch because it had no heat in it. But besides that,
It was crazy.
idle's good, right?
It was
Driving,
great.
clutch feels good.
Again, like
driving.
I said, you could be a grandma driving it, no big deal. Or you could be somebody like you or Al who wants to take to the track. Bam, dude, it's there.
And like I said, to me, your average guy don't even have to turn that CO2
Yeah.
bottle on. Drive it with 700-ish rear wheel horsepower.
Yeah.
More than enough. You're gonna beat, like I said, 90% of the cars on the road. Unless some 1% pulls up next to you. All right, hold on. Boop. Hit a button. Beat them.
And I appreciate
Yes,
it,
sir.
Steven.
Yeah,
And
wrap,
Jason.
wrap it up here.
Yes, sir.
Wrap
we
it up
appreciate
here.
you, man. Hey, listen. LMR, if you guys need anything, man, you want twin turbos, this is the place. And let me tell you, they take a lot of time and care in their cars. And man, they're a lot of fun to drive, dude. I will never be the same. I can assure you.
Nice
Thanks
meeting
again,
you.
Steven. Yes, nice to meet
Have
you.
a great day.